Welcome to another must-see stream with Deadpool Kidro. Now, normally what I do is I do gaming, get frustrated, break a mic, and then normally quit. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to talk about auditors. And for the sake of any false claims of copywriting, because, you know, that's their first line of defense, what we're going to do is we're not going to show any footage, but simply talk. By talk, I mean tell how they bring stupidity to a whole nother level. I'll start with Cranky Pants Patriot News. Well, first off, just your first name says a lot about you in general and how nice of a character you are. I bashed on him a little bit, because I was frustrated because he made a remark about something that he said, and he said he didn't know, you know, and it was an accident, and, you know, well, if you knew that, then why didn't you apologize? Like, we're not even getting into the audit yet. Tried to talk to him after, you know, like a normal human being. And by the end of what he basically was demanding from me is to, quote unquote, you're going to admit, you're going to apologize and admit it, quote unquote, one way or another. Yeah, real nice guy who threatens people for an apology after making, you know, a comment that, you know, about someone with cancer, claiming it that, you know, he didn't know, and then after that, not even bothering to apologize, not even on his own channel, and only apologizing so he could debate someone that has a very much higher functioning than he is. I'm sorry. Let's just put that aside. And he's just giving, he's literally giving me more reasons to hate him for being part of the human race. I mean, the amount of brain cells that commit suicide as I watch his videos, I have to watch them in sparingly parts because, you know, I only have so many left. Anyways, I've only watched probably 5 minutes of one of his most recent videos. He goes up to a cop window, looks in the car at their computers. He's recording this. Goes in while recording to the police station. And tells them that their computers is on. And now he has to put it on YouTube. Okay.
Ta-ta, lovelies.
That's it's not really something you have to do, more like something you want to do and say to antagonize someone. Anyways, so police officer says, okay, do you want to make a report or a complaint? Surprisingly, he says no. I guess he woke up on the right side of someone else's bed that day. But yeah, so only 3 minutes pass. The guy comes out, doesn't have any confrontation with cranky pants patriot. Basically, first thing, can I have your name and badge number? First off, name and badge number thing, that doesn't do anything. That just, if I ask for someone's name and badge number, they'll be like, okay. It doesn't give you any authority over a person. And like, is name and badge number like the code for being a First Amendment auditor? Like, if you're incognito, do you go up and be like, name and badge number? Name and badge number. Like it, people actually exist. I don't know if you're aware how this happens, but people exist to try and live and do what they're supposed to do. Not to cater and be demoralized for a YouTube channel that has no purpose. You want to expose, you want to, you don't like the cops, you call people who support them bootlickers. They could have told you not to they watching the film, you're lucky they didn't say not to film in the fucking building. And no, we're not even done there, okay? So rather than going on home, and oh yeah, this is definitely not trying to stir up trouble. The dude goes to another window, records it, and says, hey, you can actually see what they're saying in this. And then proceeds to say the...
Okay, Tenno, a lot of people
yes,
are
proceeds
on
to
you
say
to get this done.
The actual police car
loaded with
and
valuable cargo and escorted to our extraction point.
Basically the license plate.
Once the Corpus realize what we were trying to do, they will use everything they
just
can
because
to stop us.
Something is happening,
no detection
and just
from enemy
because
sensors.
Something that is out of place does not give you the authority to be in charge. Okay? If I leave my keys in the car, or if I leave my, I don't know, let's say I left, maybe I left a water bottle in the car, that doesn't mean that you can go in and, or actually not, let's make this. Let's say I left my dog in the car, right? The air conditioning is on. Okay? There's some water. I don't have a dog and I would never leave a dog in the car, just for clarifications. and, you know, everything is fine, and I'm only gone for maybe 5 minutes. You automatically come in, and when I'm in the middle of doing something, or when I'm, you know, getting what I need to get done, you come over and be like, hey, yeah, your dog's in your car, go take care of that. Trust me, I believe that they are well aware. And, maybe they have it on because they're waiting for something. You know, it's... For someone who does not support the, you know, people who are trying to protect you, and the people who, you know, put their lives on the line, and their safety on the line, you know, like, it's not your business, or basically, you know, any reason why you should be looking into, let alone recording a police police vehicle, and then pointing out that the goddamn the frickin' computer is on. It's like,
Good work. We now have control of the rover.
yeah.
Hold on, Tenno. Things just got more complicated.
The
The Corvus
computer.
have corrupted the rover's power cell. I can reconfigure it, but its new source of power will be your Warframe's shields.
I don't get it. I just don't. I don't get. And this genius, who basically, you know, as auditors often do, you know, use their First Amendment to annoy everyone around them in the name of free speech. Because I was typing and he didn't really like what I was saying, due to the fact that, you know, I kept on spamming and spamming his thing. So, what makes what you do and me stating a valid point any different? Okay? It's just that, you know, I write on your comments, why aren't you making an apology? Well, you're too busy banning me to realize that by arguing about poster 7. Okay? So before we get into First Amendment auditing, let's just look over. So if you know, when people say don't record me or they don't want to be recorded,
Incoming.
but you're allowed to, then why am I not allowed to say what I want to in the comment section, even if it's annoying? I mean, isn't that what the First Amendment is? Like,
Keep
what you
going.
fucking preach
That rover's
about?
contents will be a huge force to our cause.
Like, the First Amendment is not something that you can use as an excuse or
The Corvus are pulling
like a
back
little
the rover.
tool that you
need
whip
to
out
sacrifice to maintain
when
control.
you want to do something. That's not how it works. Everyone has it. It's not just for you. It's not going anywhere. no one's doing anything to it. And honestly, you claim you're fighting for our freedom and all that. Well, if anything, what you're doing is you're making money off of
as soon as possible.
something that's meant to be freedom. And then criticizing the people who put their lives on the line.
The Corpus have regained control.
So the fact that you make it so you're the only person that apparently matters. That's not how rights go. Okay? It's not how freedom works. If you know the statement
You have almost reached the extraction point.
all
Keep
men are
fighting.
created equal, and you wanna be thrown around this constitutional
Protect the rover.
fight
If it's
movement.
destroyed, this mission will be
Well, why are you
considered
treating
failure.
people like, you know, like shit? Why are you, if all men are created equal, why do you call people who support others lethal? If all men are created equal, why do you need to fight for the First Amendment if all men are created equal? Like, who is attacking the First Amendment? What is it that's putting the First Amendment in such danger, such dire need that we need to rally up and get our pitchforks and torches, take to the street with our cameras? Like, where is the threat? For real. Where is the threat? I have yet to see anything that has been considered a threat. And as far as I can see, all you guys are doing, all you do is get yourself arrested, and it's the same result. It's the same result. So, with that in mind, how many times is it going to take you to realize that what you're doing maybe is not exactly what you think it's for? I'm just saying, you know, like, if you have a record after getting arrested for, you know, resisting arrest, causing a disturbance, you know, harassing people, if you have like a track record of that, whose fault is it? It's not the police for arresting you because you're being stupid. Okay. If anything, the police are guilty for just letting you go. Okay. Not all police are, you know, 100% good, but not all of them are corrupt. And, you know, you can't blame them when you're the one being stupid. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like, I'm doing something that could possibly land me in jail, get me a fine, or make someone upset. But I am right because I believe what I'm doing is right. That's not how logic works, okay? That's how stupidity works. For you to go up, and just because you think that you're better and you're entitled, and you claim you know you're right, that it just shows your ignorance. It's better to be wrong and learn from your mistakes than to think that you are right 100% of the time. Because, you know, if you don't admit you're wrong, then you can't show sympathy. And you've obviously have done that already.
Vaults and retrieve crucial intelligence data.
And admitting you don't care.
Tenno, a lot of people are depending on you to get
So,
this done.
like, in the process of basically not only admitting that you don't
Be
care,
on the lookout for increased security measures.
But-
The enemy would rather destroy their data than let it get into our hands.
but as well, repeatedly show signs that, you know, regardless of the amount of, you know, discomfort and total lack of any empathy, you really believe that you're right because of the simple fact that you're right and nothing else. You don't need proof. You don't need anything but you know, your selfish self-esteem. And that's not what makes a person a person. What makes a person is them willing to admit sometimes that, you know what, they're wrong. Or, you know what, sometimes they've done something that they need to admit. Or say, you know what, I was in the wrong. And I was, you know, this isn't such a good idea, or, you know, maybe I need to rethink what happened.
Hybrid life forms. A familiar concept to you, is it not, betrayers?
Who's
So-
in control now, suckers?
So for me,
Security override engaged.
Alarms successfully hacked. The location is returning to normal security levels.
So for me, to be maybe a little pissed about something that you said, because, you know, I'm not the most happy person when it comes to, you know, someone not being remorseful. I think that's reasonable. But for you to just completely continue to be this unhappy individual that has no regard for any emotion of another human being. I mean, dude, like, what will it take? What will it take? What will it take for you to actually be human? Like, to actually give a fuck. What stakes does it have to go to for you to have the demeanor of a normal human being? You know, but I've always believed, honestly, that if you can find common ground, and if you can possibly try to you know, communicate, do that. I've always believed that, and I've always believed that by making, you know, a successful
Alarms. Heat of
making
destruction is imminent. You
a
need to
successful, you know, a successful conversation between two
hurry. Data integrity
individuals
verified.
is
Retrieval
better than
was
an
successful.
argument. Okay. And I tried that. And I was met with a threat and a basic, you know, I don't care. And you know, when a person openly admits that, then, you know, for me, that just shows how much you really you do not value other people. You don't value others as human beings. Now, I'm no politic. I'm no, you know, I don't have any degrees in law school. But I know how to be a decent fucking human being. And, you know, it just,
None of the scanners have
it
detected you.
just gets me when, you know, when you have so many chances to just admit and just come clean about what you did was wrong, and, you know, just freaking, you know, just goddamn, man, just be human. You know, just have some humanity. And you know, it's not always about who's right. It's not always about who did what better. Okay? It's about being a human being. You know, it's about It's about being someone who is...
Alarms have been triggered. You need to retrieve that data before the data destruction is complete. You got it. The data is still intact.
And
the data we retrieved will have to suffice.
if
Get
you
extraction.
refuse under every circumstance to admit that you're wrong, and then demand that other people be, admit that they're wrong. I mean, like, dude, just how low do you have to fall to be a basic, a jerk like that? Like, I won't be able to understand the capacity of how you really don't think anyone matters. And then you blame me. Okay. You blame me for making this whole thing up. No, you don't want to take responsibility for your actions. No. It's the person who addressed something to the moderators. Okay, that's what I did. And then I said, dude, you need to apologize. But you didn't. And all you cared about was this debate that you think you're gonna win, and what I'm doing right now, this is freedom of speech. Okay. This is freedom of speech. And, I have the right to say what I want to say. Whether it be wrong or right, you don't have to hear this. Okay? You choose what you want to hear. And make whatever fantasy you want to... Whatever fantasy, reality that you warp into your little brain of what we call a human. But you keep on looking for proof and wanting this and that when it's given to you. And then people give you an opportunity. And give you, you shouldn't be asked to apologize. Okay? That shouldn't happen. A genuine person, if they did something wrong, will say so. And then they will maybe look and be like, maybe what I do pisses people off and I need to stop doing that. Not repeat the same process by, going out and literally looking for trouble. So auditors, when you guys go out, you can't be surprised, like, wow, are you serious? Are you gonna do A, B, and C? If someone asks for your ID, just show them it, okay? if someone asks for you to, you know, just turn off the camera, be considerate. Okay? Get into photography. Okay? Landscaping, some shit like that. But making people uncomfortable, giving people a hard time, that's not fighting for your First Amendment right. What that's doing is that's harassing and making people uncomfortable. So that's doing nothing for anyone except making them uncomfortable. I don't have a lot of followers on this channel. You know, people watch my videos if they want to watch my videos. I don't get paid. Okay? I don't have a lot of, you know, views. And you know what? I'm fine with that. Because I'm not begging for people to watch my videos, to, you know, I share them amongst my friends. Yes, I have those. Those things that help people out regardless of their situation. They're called friends, okay? Not viewers. Okay? Not followers. Those don't count as friends. They can, but I have actual people in real life that I know, that I've met, that help me. And I'm not talking about on a PayPal account. I'm not talking about giving me money. Okay? I normally go buy $20 of like spare money a week. That's normally what my little income is, okay? And to look and see you guys get, you know, the equipment and all this stuff, or, you know, whatever you need to, you know, set out your little PayPal, set up, you know, a GoFundMe, set up, like, you know, you're not fighting for an amendment, you're abusing it. You know? Like, I have more creativity than you probably have, than half, if you put all the auditors together, there'd be no creativity. They would fight amongst each other on who's better, who gets the most content, who gets the most revenue. You put a bunch of friends together, you know what they'll do? They'll have a good time, and, you know, after they are, you know, done, they go home. That's how friendship works. You don't go in a place where you're not wanted, you're not welcome, you're not highly thought of someone that's a, you know, if you're a negative person and you're surrounded by a lot of positive people that support this one community, then, you know, don't be surprised when you get backlash when you go in there to troll and you go in there to make fun of things, you know? and then you complain when the entire community that is more, social and more connected together, you complain about them reacting to the way you do A, B, and C. Okay? When you affect someone that cares about a person, there will be a reaction. And if you're not the nicest person, or the most positive person, or the most liked person in that place, and continue to come back, don't act surprised on any consequence that happens following. Because if someone who's homophobic goes to a pride parade and then starts yelling out, racial slurs and profanity, and then he gets home and his entire Twitter blows up on stuff that, he did and what he was wrong, everybody else isn't in the wrong just because he doesn't agree with it. Okay, if there's one person out of 100, and all 100 people who get by relatively easy and, don't have any problems, and you're the only one who has problems with people and believes still that you're right, maybe you should look at the real world, bro. Like, honestly. Like, they're not arresting you because you're freedom of speech. They're arresting you because you're being an inconsiderate jerk. Okay? I want to see one successful audit without someone getting angry, arrested, or any type of confrontation. Do you know how those audits go? They don't. Because fighting for something you believe in, and doing something for the greater good, that doesn't always mean that you don't have to provoke something, because once you provoke something, then you become the problem. If you're aware of what you're doing might provoke someone, then you're at fault. Because you're following through with that. There's a difference between what's legal and what you should do. Or, what's legal and things that, maybe you can do, that is legal, but maybe you shouldn't do. Like, just because you're allowed to do it does not mean you should do it. You know, it's not illegal for you to basically make fun of someone with autism, but you shouldn't do it. It's not illegal for you to basically go and, you know, harass someone and call them names, but you shouldn't do it. You know? Like, just because you have the right to freedom of speech doesn't mean you should abuse it. Okay, so if anything, what you guys are doing is you're not fighting for the First Amendment right, you're abusing it. You're not heroes. You're not freedom fighters. You're just brainless, self-centered, egotistical jerks and bullies. That's what you are. And none of you are probably going to see this video, and I don't really care. Honestly, I'm just letting y'all know that, you know, I will be starting another channel next month. That will be within the Watchdog community. That will be you know, about more of these parasites that call themselves freedom fighters. And you know, I'm just tired. I've been dealing with a lot of shit. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff that's just been unbelievably ridiculous. Okay, I've been keeping it to myself. I've been holding it in. And, you know, I have a bunch of things I'm trying to get to people that is extremely frustrating. And, you know, just the fact that I need to, you know, just keep this to myself because, you know, aside from the community, like, it's just that, you know, if you're going to threaten me, bro, I'm not going to take it lightly, first of all. If I try and give you a chance and I try and, you know, give you respect as a human being, and all you want to do is bash on me when I'm trying to be, you know, give you a chance to see if you can talk normal. You don't. You know, I can't treat you like an individual if when I give you a chance, when I try and give you a chance to show that you're actually a decent person and not what I think you are, and all you do is you show me something even worse. You know, I am... And then you want to blame me for your mistake because I'm the one who brought it to the attention. Well, bro, I'm sorry that you're not capable of understanding that's how, you know, being responsible and being, you know, humane. That's what when you admit stuff that you did is wrong, and you take responsibility for it. You know, that's a part of being human. Honestly. It's not something that people should have to tell you, okay? People shouldn't have to tell you to be it's just like, why? Why are you being, what is the purpose? If so many people ask you to stop, if so many people say they're uncomfortable, how long is it going to take you? How long? How long will it take you to realize? How long will it take you to realize? Like for real, can you please explain to me? Explain to me. Like, if this isn't working, then why are you doing it? What's the point? What's the point of doing something that makes people pissed off, that makes individuals not like you, and the only ones that like you are the ones that agree with you? You should be able to see that, you know, if people that don't agree with you don't want to be around you, rather than people who, you know, may disagree about something, but still, you know, don't judge the person. And it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing on the amount of sheer stupidity one has to have to donate to people who are so-called fighting, to people who are so-called doing this for America, for the better right of, you know, humanity. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't get it. I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense for me. You know, when you have so many people, when you have so many things that, you know, you could be doing, that you could be going and making a difference in the world, but you decide to record people and then do it in places that no, you know, if you see other people that if people that only, you know, you that do the same thing that you do are people that like you, then, you know, like, I'm not a fan of jazz, but that doesn't mean I don't like people who like jazz. Okay? I have a uncle who supports Donald Trump. I don't. I don't hate him for it. I respect his opinion, and, you know, I just don't talk about politics. It's a very, 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 very easy thing to do. It's called respect people for what they believe in. And if you want to audit, that's fine. But when you make it to a point where you make other people involved and suffer from your actions, then, you know, that's different. Okay? If you go into a police station that has, you know, signs and you don't use common sense, and obviously, you know, no one else is going in there with cameras, and you start recording, and you see no one else in there with cameras, there's signs that say no recording, you know, it's not everyone else's fault that they're not doing what you're doing. Okay? If everyone did whatever they wanted, then, you know, then people, you know, would just, there'd just be total anarchy. You know? If you didn't have any consequences for, let's say, murder, then there would be mass genocide. I know that's going over a little extreme, but, you know, if you want to capture and want to make a difference, and you want to put your lives on the line for you know, human and, you know, American justice, why don't you do this? Why don't you take your camera, go down to the most corrupt and dangerous neighborhoods where there's shootings, where there's drive-bys, and where, you know, there's racism. Record that. But don't be the cause of it by starting stuff just to get views. Okay. That's not how the you know, that's not how it works. That's not how that's not how being a human being works. When you are able to be someone who can respect someone else, that can be very, you know, when someone has an opinion, and when that person has an opinion who tries to, you know, when they have an opinion and they try to express that opinion, whether you disagree with them or not. You know, they, you know, they have just as much of a right to say no as, you know, as you think you're right. If I say, you know, if I say I can fly and I'm immortal, that doesn't mean I can fly and I'm immortal. That means I think I can fly and I'm immortal. Okay? For you to go and be like, I can record people, and you know, I can cause a scene and do anything I want, because I have the right to say what's on my mind. I hate to break it to you, but that's not how it works. That's not how the First Amendment works. Okay? And First Amendment, you know, that right, that was not created when cameras or photography existed. Okay? When that was created, you know what existed? Penmanship. You know, talking at rallies. That's how that happened. It wasn't, you know, I have the right to film people. It wasn't, I have the right to do A, B, and C because I want to. That's not how it works. Okay? So next time you go out and you do your little audit, and then someone says, "Can you please stop?" Or, you know, I have a you know, I have a kid, or, you know, a logical explanation why you shouldn't be recording them. And what you can come up with is, no, I'm sorry. Just like, you know, who's really the jerk here? Okay, who's really the one in the wrong? The one who is refusing to stop making someone uncomfortable, or the person who is just, you know, minding their own business? Like, who's in the wrong here? Okay, how dare they? How dare they mind their own business? How dare they go and be productive in their life and ask you to stop doing something that makes you feel better about themselves? How dare they? How dare they ask you not to film their kid, or not to be on YouTube, or stuff like that, you know? On what level of dignity do they have? Like, you really need to get your head out of your ass. And I've tried to talk to auditors. I've tried, you know, I'm not saying every single one of them are you know, evil or bad. There, you know, there are some that have standards, and understand, things are things aren't aren't always 100% gonna go their way. And you know what, for people who can be the bigger man, um hats off to you. Okay, for people who know when not to engage in a scene that will cause most likely someone to get upset, to get arrested. um Hats off to you. Okay, but for those of you who, rather than choose to be the bigger guy, or rather than choose to have, you know, part of your humanity, is like, and just continue to treat others with total disrespect, or with, you know, the reality that no one other than you can be right. Okay? Just get your head out of your ass. Like, if you're not capable of being able to realize that what you're doing is making other people uncomfortable, then maybe you shouldn't be in public, or maybe you're not meant to be the publisher, auditor that you claim you are. And in order for
They don't have to send those to other ones.
Sorry about that. But yeah, it just totally makes me think how selfish of a human being you can be, to be someone who just, who needs to be told that you did something bad in order to be given a reason for you to apologize, in order for you to basically understand that, people are angry at you. Or it's I don't get it. Like, what do you gain from making the amount of people from what you do uncomfortable and miserable? What is it that there's no freedom, there's no justice, and everything that you claim to be about, it's all there is just, all you display is the amount of hate that you have for people that aren't bothering you, people who aren't doing anything, for people that are minding their own business, and you, for some reason, feel like it's your job and your calling to make people angry, in turn afterwards you get angry for making them angry at you, making them angry. It's not just me confused with this theory, right? I'm not the only one that's trying to find, the reason how making people uncomfortable continuously and being unable to read the signs that, maybe this isn't exactly what, a lot of people do or a lot of people like. Just not being able to see these signs is it's just like, what does it take? What does it take for you to understand that it's not okay to film someone, make them uncomfortable, and ignore how you are deliberately, while you're deliberately making them feel uncomfortable, ignore their reaction and, and not respecting their wishes, and making it all about you. Okay? Because it's your camera and you film them, you get to decide what happens to them on your video. That's really messed up. That's you just because you have a videotape doesn't mean you get to play God. Okay. And my stream isn't going to do anything. But you know, what I'm doing right now is expressing my First Amendment. This is how you do it. It's by being able to say something. If you don't believe something's right and you speak out against it, that's your freedom of speech. Freedom of speech does not mean that because you're saying it, you're right. That's not what it is. It's the freedom to express. It's the freedom to have an opinion. So, do I condemn the F the police like signs and rallies and stuff like that? No, I don't. I don't support that. I don't think that that's necessary. But you know, that you do have the First Amendment right to say how you feel. But on that same note, you also got to respect other people's rights. Meaning, if someone asks you to move and, you know, you're causing a disturbance or, you know, something along that line, and, you know, there are several people that ask you to move, several people that ask you to stop, then by you denying their wishes, when it's not just, if it was just one person, then, you know, you're standing up for your rights. But when it's about, I don't know, maybe, you know, 5 people asking you to stop, or, you know, a bunch of people saying no, or I don't want to be filmed, who's the one in the wrong? Who's the jerk at this point? Who's not abiding by, you know, what people and what others, you know, ask of them. Okay, you ask for people to respect your First Amendment right, yet you lack the ability to respect other people, period. Do you see how this is like a little bit of a problem here? Because nobody's right all the time. And for someone to get arrested, to get called, to get, you know, all these different to get all these different types of, you know, claims that, you know, this person needs to knock it off, and this person isn't stopping when we ask him to. You know, if I ask you to stop doing something because it's affecting other people and other people don't like it, normally what a person does out of respect is they stop doing that. and, then realize, you know what I'm doing maybe is the thing why a lot of people are uncomfortable, and why, a lot of people aren't, exactly on board with what I'm about, is because maybe I'm making people uncomfortable. Maybe I'm the reason why others are so agitated, why others are so upset. Maybe it's not the cops. Maybe maybe I'm this whole thing that I'm doing, maybe approaching it the wrong way. I'm not saying all auditors, again, are bad people. Just like how not all cops are bad people. Okay? And if people want to be treated with respect, they need to show others respect. That's just how reality works. Okay, that's how that's how it works. And I will give you respect. I won't always agree on what you have to say. I won't always support necessarily what you have to say. But I won't treat you any differently or think of you as a lesser of a person simply because, you are simply because you are a individual that is making, the decisions that you make are nobody's but your fault. Okay? If you make a decision and what you do is what you do is what you do, you need to hold yourself responsible. No one else is responsible for the behavior that you make. Okay? If someone told me, "Do you want to go rob a store?" and I said, "Okay," and we both robbed the store together, you know whose fault it is? It's not the person who robbed the store, and just because he robbed the store and I just agreed to go with him, that doesn't make me any less accountable. Because I could have said no. I could have said, "You know what? Nah," or "I don't think this is a good idea." Okay? You could say that. Okay? But once you commit to something and and then, when an incident happens, you can't just be, "Oh, I didn't do anything. I was just I was just here doing stuff. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't being I wasn't participating in any type of activity or any type of um, any type of thing that may link me as someone who was making people uncomfortable. And when you make someone uncomfortable, when you do something that they don't like, and then you ignore them when they say either stop or, do what you did was uncool, or can you like apologize, or when people, come up to you and say, what you did was wrong, or what you did was kind of messed up. You need to go explain yourself. You need to go apologize. And just because you don't think you did anything wrong doesn't change the fact that you still upset a lot of people. So the fact is there that if you're recording and people feel uncomfortable, people ask you to stop, and you simply don't stop because you don't think you're doing anything wrong, yet there's people that clearly are upset and clearly are angry and clearly don't want to be filmed. I do not understand. I don't understand. I if you guys could help me, maybe on how this movement of that you guys you First Amendment auditors, this movement, this thing that you claim to be a something that is so important, and so so worth the fight. Like where's the threat? Who is putting the Constitution in danger? And really, why is it you who has to be the ones that why are you the chosen ones? Why are you the people that are going to be the ones who have the authority and who have the the right to basically be the ones to say who's doing right and who's doing wrong? On what scale are you declared the official person who gets to determine what people think? Where does that come in? Where does that come into play, where you're the one that suddenly has the power to decide how you know, everyone else, you know, is supposed to be, how everyone else is wrong, but the one individual that people don't want to do stuff. So if we're going, and you know, the fact that I have to explain this several times, if there's 18 people on the bus that go on a trip routinely every year, and there's one new person who nobody likes and that nobody trusts, does the new driver trust the dude who says make a left, or trust the people who have done this and this is normal too, and say take a right? Does he trust the one individual that is not very well known or liked, or the people that have been on this trip before dozens of times and, you know where they're going and know what they're doing? So if you say you're fighting for my First Amendment rights, I would like to ask, why? I can't say this enough. Where's the threat? What is the threat? Like, you want people to step up, but all I'm seeing is buy my merch and, you know, people basically just, you know, milking the viewers. That's all I'm seeing. I'm not. You're claiming to me for something otherwise, but I'm not seeing that. I'm just seeing someone do this for their own self-purpose, for their own reason, and trying to make a quick buck. I do not see a First Amendment being rescued. I don't see I don't see any type of situation where the amendment is in jeopardy. So if you want to make a difference, and if you want to be someone who, you know, steps up and just basically causes everyone around them to just not like them. Like, I don't like. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't see the logical point. I don't see the reason. It's not. It's just mind blowing. So, you know, I've ranted on long enough. And you know, I mean, we can't force people to be perfect. But we can encourage them not to be assholes. So it's like if someone asks you to stop and you don't, at this point you're the person who's being a jerk. Not them because they don't want you to do something that, you know, makes them uncomfortable. Okay. So, I don't hate First Amendment auditors. I don't hate cyber resistance. I don't hate anybody. Because, but there are situations that just make me question why would you, you know, it's just a lot of things that, you know, these auditors claim that they're fighting for, they're really just countering their own beliefs. You know, they don't want to listen to people who tries to talk to them with, you know, logical and real, you know, reality facts. They're not willing to accept or admit they were wrong. Before I leave, I'm just gonna give you guys like a little tour of, you know, what I did. This entire basically place here, I made. So we're just gonna go for a little Warframe tour. Did not make this place. Did make this place. I'm making my own little audit on here. Oh god. Oh, can you imagine? What's in this one? So I started this one. The game's having a little seizure right there. Let's see what else. I've made the giant room with the engine that we were in earlier. But I have yet to decide what I'm going to do in here. Yay! Okay, anyways, if you want to hear more about people being really stupid and just completely a lack of, you know, of human emotion, and then getting, basically, you know, justice served, I recommend looking at Marble Girl, Schrodinger's Cat, Kick, Artie, all those, all of them, you know, and check them out. And as usual, this is Deadpool Kidro. Peace out and much love.